Hello, I am Jie Hongling.
Hi, this is Srinivas.
Hi, I'm Suresh, and we'll be doing the movie clip on the security policy.
Policy is some document that is created to define rules and keep a structure on procedures. So, what is a security policy? Well, a security policy is a formal document that specifies which people have rights to access the technology, systems, and the information of organizations. The security policy is to define what business and security goals are and the overall security and risk control objectives. Policy should follow a list of important principles. A security policy must be understandable. People who read it can easily understand it. A security policy must be realistic. Too much security will get bad results, so we need to find a balanced line. It must be also consistent and not to be changed too often. A security policy must be enforceable. It must be also to be done with auditing tools and clearly supported by human resource and management. A security policy must be documented, distributed, and communicated properly. It must be also flexible to fit the current technology and the situation. Also, a security policy must be reviewed. We should review the security policy in a regular time to ensure that the security policy doesn't become obsolete. What is the purpose of a security policy? The primary purpose of a security policy is to inform users, staff, and managers of those essential requirements for protecting various assets, including people, hardware, software resources, and data assets. Another purpose is to give a baseline of how to get, configure, and audit computer systems and networks.
Go. Next, we talk about the security policy life cycle. The development of the security policy should follow this step. The first step is to assess the requirement. The second step is the asset identification. The asset identification determines the item with an economic value, such as the data, software, physical assets, and personnel. After the asset identification, the next step is to determine the threat to the asset. The fourth step is to determine the risk. The risk assessment is to determine the damage from an attack. After the risk assessment, the next two steps are to develop a security policy and implement it. Then, after the two steps, the next step is to communicate the security policy. The final step is to enforce the security policy if it is needed to change to meet the additional requirements.
Now I'm going to discuss about different types of policies. Let us see few of them now. First one is acceptable use policy. So in acceptable use policy, we have it is a document which tells how computer objects are used by the employees within a company. So here computer objects includes internet, mobile, web, and desktop. Coming to remote access policy, this policy is mainly focused on how, what, and who, how the information is accessed, what information is accessed, and by whom the information is accessed. By defining this policy, we can prevent unauthorized access of information. The usage of wireless networks is being increasing day by day. So it is very important to set a policy for wireless networks. So in this policy, it includes how the wireless networks are installed, who can access them, and in what conditions they are being accessed. And coming to password security policy, it is being explained through an example.
Now let's take a look at an example for the security policy in Windows XP. In this example, we will observe various security settings in the password policy. Go to control panel. Administrative tools. And select local security policy. Password policy, which is under account policy, allows to set various password security settings like enforce password history. Enforce password history, which determines the number of unique new passwords that have to be associated with the user account before the old password is used. We can keep track of up to maximum of 24 passwords. Minimum and maximum password age determines the periodic time a password can be used before changing it. Minimum password length allows to set the least number of characters in a password. It allows you to set up to the password length of up to 14 characters. Complexity requirements are set using the password must meet complexity requirements. In this way, we can set the strength of the password as per our requirements using the password policy.
Conclusion for security policy. In this movie clip, we have seen what is security policy, principles and purposes of security policy, a video demonstration on security policy lifecycle and types of security policy. Though we have many security policies in existence, their importance comes into picture only when they are followed. These policies are essential for every company or organization to function without any vulnerabilities.